today we want to talk to you about something that makes us happy, and that is sharing. Sharing the big moments, the little moments, sharing a banana box. Our life has been experienced as a series of shared and frequently photographed moments.
And clearly, as identical twins, although we don't look quite so identical anymore, we share a lot of things. Eye colour, hair colour, and we share a dad who looks like a modern-day hipster. But growing up, we also shared similar temperaments. We were very shy, we were very sensitive, but also very curious. And I think that, what else is there to say?
We share our granddad's love of reading, and books and stories have always been a big part of our lives. We spent many hours lying side by side on our beds next to each other, reading Babysitter's Club, Nancy Drew stories. Our mum would often tell us to go outside and get some fresh air, so we'd just take our books onto the trampoline with no nets and just lie there.
And we share a love of nature. We got this from our parents. I love that last talk. That was beautiful. Most of the trips that we took to national parks close to Perth where we grew up did not end up like this. They were, picnics eaten in the middle of nowhere with rain beating on the roof of the car, but we were happy because we were sharing it together.
When we started school, we realised we shared an identity. We had to learn to respond to each other's names. We had name tags on the outside of our clothes. We were basically sort of a unit. We realised that most people actually were non-twins, and that was a bit of a revelation to us.
1986 marked the time when our shared time in the limelight came to an abrupt halt. We now shared a baby sister, and at the same time, our mum started doing strange things, and soon after she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. It was the end of a twin-centric phase in our life.
So Mum was unwell, Dad was stressed, Sally was annoying. What's an 8-year-old to do? A DIY fringe haircut before another round of professional photos. Do you like how the crimping sort of brings out the fringe? Sally's got more tattoos now. She was cuter then.
But we had to share responsibilities. We shared chores. We shared cooking responsibilities. One time, Emma had to cook dinner and we were cooking meatloaf. She decided this was child slavery and she was going to sabotage the whole situation, adding spices, herbs, tomato sauce with reckless abandon. It was a triumph, and it was encouraged from then on.
So you see, we've reached the 90s. We shared bad skin, braces, bad fashion, but it was the era of grunge, and I don't think anyone was winning any fashion points. Here we realised we actually just needed to develop our brains rather than our poses, and this really was a time we didn't like photos.
We didn't, but we continued learning, and we decided that we sort of shared in our uni experience. We got vicarious degrees in each other's fields, psychology and literature. We have many joint future projects, including Shakespeare's villains, evil or just
lacking in unconditional positive regard. When I moved to the UK, we discovered the massive sharing potential of Facebook. This is a photo, actually, I was back in Perth taking a photo of Ali, taking a photo of the sunset, but we didn't get to share those little things one-on-one so much, so we shared them vicariously through our Facebook, and we explored social media a bit more.
And we started liking photos again once we had experienced time apart. We had 3 years as non-twins, and then when we would visit each other wherever we lived, we got to be kind of unusual and a bit cool again.
We've never been cool. After our early introduction to the culinary arts, we shared our love of cooking by emailing recipes backwards and forwards with photographic evidence, but with student budgets, obviously, we had a little period of economic vegetarianism, and I think the enthusiasm probably outweighed our actual culinary flair, potentially.
But we always enjoy eating the food we don't have to cook, I think, like a lot of people. And our 66th birthday was celebrated in Margaret River at a pretty fancy winery. And a very refined, sombre and classy time was had by all.
We've invented our own holiday. We've combined Christmas and the beach to come up with Beachmas. And we love sharing Beachmas. This was Beachmas in Hawaii in 2012. Our mum texted us to say, quick, get a photo to share with the family. So we donned the Aloha Santa hats. We're not sure if this is what she was after, but we quite liked it.
So sharing stories makes us happy, and sharing extremely outrageous stories makes us even happier. We have a pact that every excruciating, embarrassing encounter that we have has to be memorized so that it can be conveyed in detail later on. And I think Emma is trying mind control in this photo.
We share a playful attitude to life, and we spend a lot of time trying to make other people laugh. We sent this photo to our little sister, who was bemoaning the Jaquet forehead wrinkles that we all share, and that Ali and I quite like, given that it does make us look a little bit older, and sometimes people might take us more seriously. Don't know.
But in the year in which selfies reached new infamy, we like to try and keep clicking after the posed shot just to capture those moments that are not usually in the camera's gaze. They're just a bit outside, and it also helps us, remember that we shouldn't take ourselves too seriously.
But something we do take seriously and that we share is a deep sense of responsibility to help others. So in my work, I help little people to be happier. This is the handiwork of 4-year-old Ben. And Ali helps people at uni to succeed and to do the best they can. I would like to report that Ben's doing very well. He's no longer scared of werewolves and is sleeping much better.
Charlotte Bronte wrote, "Happiness quite unshared can scarcely be called happiness. It has no taste." Sharing for us is like that tomato sauce and random herbs and spices added to the meatloaf of our lives. And we discover that it's richer and tastier and more fun when you share it.
Thank you.
Thanks.